prove. I wanna lose. Yeah, something to prove. You know that I wanna lose. Yeah, gonna leave this here. This right here gonna be that year. Yeah, that's too sincere. I don't really think I could be that clear. I'ma be right here, but y'all know that. Wanna feed my fist, try to hold me back. Y'all do that, try to hold me down. Karma is real and it's coming around.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Take Me Out to the Video Game, a podcast about baseball video games. We're going to cut right to it because there is a lot of content dropping in MLB The Show 25 today, and there's a lot of other stuff that I want to talk about as well. So we're just going to get right into it because there's a lot of meat on this one. The first thing that I want to talk about is kind of where Diamond Dynasty is at and where I'm at with it. I know I touched on this a little bit last week, but I had some other thoughts over the week as I was playing things that I just wanted to talk about, and I think it's important to understand the type of player that I am because I'm kind of like an outlier in the community, right? Like, I enjoy mini seasons, I enjoy Conquest, I don't enjoy things like Showdown and online play that a lot of the regular fan base typically plays, and that's fine. I'm not calling for those modes to go away or anything. I understand that they're huge modes that people really enjoy, but I'm just kind of the outlier in terms of what I enjoy. I grind things like Moments, Showdown, online play when I'm watching baseball and other things, and just can kind of like mindlessly grind in the background. So like that's where I'm at, and even with that, I really like the content structure as a whole this year, right? Like, I think that SDS is giving us a lot to do. They're giving us a lot of different cards to grind for. They're giving us reasons to grind stubs because there's so many cards coming out. And that's I guess the one side of it where I think a lot of people are kind of frustrated, myself included, that so much of the content, like every time they give us a new program, it usually comes with a new collection, which means lots of pack content on top of the free content. And that's where I think, like a lot of people have problems with it. I don't like it, but I think I can accept it more than some people can, because I look at it like MLB The Show in Diamond Dynasty mode is a live service game. Even if they don't want to call themselves that, they are a live service game. And with live service games comes a lot of paid content or potential paid content that you don't necessarily need, but it's there if you want to buy it. And that's kind of their model. And that's why, like, I'm okay with the packs, and I'm okay with some of the best cards in the game being locked behind those who want to pay to get all those cards to collect it, because not everybody's going to do that. And the people that want to do that and maybe either grind the stubs or spend the extra money, they deserve to have those better cards, in my opinion. And the one thing here where I'll give SDS points is that they give us the ability to grind in-game currency. Like, we don't have to purchase in-game currency. You get stubs by playing the game. So they're not true live service in the fact that the only way to get their in-game currency is to open up the real-life wallet. You can if you want to, which I personally won't. Anybody who does, I don't shame you. If you've got the extra money to burn, by all means. But they give you a way to grind the stuff in the game, which a lot of live service games don't. So the fact that you can do that and get stubs just by playing the game is a win, in my opinion. If I had one thing that I would change to Diamond Dynasty, it's a small thing. It's probably a selfish thing. I would make Showdown rewards repeatable and sellable. And why would I do that? Selfishly, because I don't want to play Showdown. I like that if I don't want to play a Diamond Quest, which is another mode, like, love the idea of the mode, because it's mostly showdown and moments, which are two things I don't like, it's not a mode for me. Love the idea of it, love the structure of it. Just wish there wasn't so much showdown and momentsy stuff in there, but I like the fact that if I don't want to grind one, I can go use my stubs and buy those cards because the rewards are repeatable and they're sellable. So people are repeating that diamond quest. They're using it as a stub grind. They're putting the cards on the market and I can go buy those because of that. I also like that you can do that with the multiplayer program rewards. If I don't get far enough in a multiplayer program or don't feel like grinding one, I can buy those cards usually at a decent price because people are selling the ones that they get because they don't want them. And I wish it was that way with Showdown. Like, I have no problem with Showdown being another stub grind for the people who are good at and want to play Showdown. I would buy those cards rather than playing the Showdown, and I'm sure that there's a player out there that would not mind grinding the mode a couple times and taking my stubs. So that's like SDS, if you're listening, that's one change I would make. I would make Showdown rewards repeatable and sellable for that reason. But enough about that. We got plenty of other stuff to get into, so let's get into the content drop. Starting with this new Prime program, it looks pretty standard. Bunch of moments, missions with the Prime Series guys, and stat missions. So a pretty standard program in terms of how to complete it. Let's look at what's here. The first card is a Jesse Chavez card, relief pitcher for the Braves. Definitely a card that will make my bullpen. Pretty decent looking 92. That's kind of where we're at for standard in the power creep. Mike Cameron, center field. Decent stats, I guess. Honestly, a card that's not probably going to crack my starting lineup for longer than just P1ing him, like I do with every card that I acquire. Might be a bench fielder, though, or outfielder, though. Charlie Morton, likewise, probably not going to crack my starting rotation for more than one game to P5, or P1 him. Sorry. Decent stats, though. I've already got a much better rotation. However, Salvador Perez will be my starting catcher for a while. Or for a little while, because who knows what else they're going to release. Or until I reach Adley, and then he would be my bench catcher. Pretty decent stats. Pretty balanced, honestly. I like this card a lot. And then we get 2 Deluxe Prime packs in the program. That's kind of a cool thing. And then the big boy, Richie Sexson for the Brewers. Really good card, power and contact. Pretty high on both ends. Fielding, not great, but he's a first baseman, so who cares? Obviously, speed is kind of on par with first baseman. This will be my starting first baseman for a while. Hopefully I can reach this program pretty soon. Let's check out what's in the packs for this stuff. Prime Jason Varitek. This, if I can get a hold of this card, might be my catcher over Adley because I loved the 87. Ooh. This is a card I'm going to have to go after. Save stubs for and all the things. We got Terry Pendleton. Yeah, he's pretty good. He would probably be my starting third baseman if I didn't already have Scott Rowland, but card's pretty good, and obviously his 87 was good. Tommy Pham, left field, pretty good card. We got a prime Michael Young at shortstop. These cards are starting to get into pretty good territory, at least this rare round 94. Jim Cott, 94. Ooh, this card, yeah, pretty decent. Again, don't know if it's one that I would necessarily go after, but cool looking card. Now we're getting back down into the 92s. No 93s in this pack. That's kind of odd, I guess. Luis Aparicio. Again, these 92s kind of getting to that point of collection fodder, at least for me. Bill Mazeroski, Robin Roberts, Hal Newhouser, and Raisel Iglesias. He could make the pen for me potentially. Not a ton of pack content this time, honestly. Usually we get like double this at least. So, and this pack is the same. So, interesting stuff there. They did put out a new conquest where the rewards, there are no actual players, it seems, in the conquest, or not conquest, Diamond Quest, sorry. They put out a new Diamond Quest where it doesn't seem like there's actual players, but you can get those packs repeatedly, which is kind of cool. Might have to grind that one just because I want some more of those packs. Spotlight, we have, again, a Nolan Arenado Spotlight this week, which also means we have a new Spotlight pack, so there's probably some pack content there. But we got Clark Schmidt. Okay. Christian Moore, bane of my existence right now, beating up on my Red Sox, but good kid, good card. Yeah, I mean, again, probably not going to crack my lineup for more than it takes to P1 him, but that's kind of what I expect from Topps at this point. Nolan Arenado, very good card. Again, if I didn't already have Roland, I would probably he would be in the running for potential third baseman for me at this point, but kind of becomes collection fodder just because I have Scott Rowland already. And then we have the pack, which is Brooks Lee. That's a card I kind of want. I'm not going to lie. This card looks very nice. I might have to save up some stubs and go after him in that Veritech card because those are ones that I would use in my lineup for a little bit. Jose Soriano, another nice looking card for the Angels. Really like that one as well. Might have to go after him. Brady House, Logan O'Hoppe, and Braxton Fulford. Okay. Yeah, the cards that are dropping today are pretty good. I know we have some other new stuff as well within collections and things like that. I do want to check to see, is there any new conquest? There's a sunglass map. So what do we get for this? What do we get for doing the sunglasses? I know there's probably some hidden rewards in here as well. Headliner pack, Ball That's a Habit, headliner pack, and a jumbo pack. So, I mean, I'll still do it because I'm a conquest nut. I don't think there's a new mini seasons, but we're gonna double check that. There is not. Okay. Any new showdowns? No new showdowns. And then let's go to the shop. Buy packs. Got your primes in there. Interesting, they don't have the premium or ultra for the prime packs. That's interesting. Spotlight packs. That's an interesting. Where does this come in? Is that the chase card maybe? But the vault bundle, it's an expensive. That's an expensive bundle. Oh, so it's a vault pack, a premier pack, and a chase pack. So this Trey Turner is probably the new chase card. Makes sense. Really good looking card, but whew, what an expensive bundle. Tony Perez is your headliner. And they don't have 50 pack. Oh, there it is. I was like, What's going? I thought I lost the 50-pack bundle for a second. I was like, what? Trey Turner again. Chase card. Good card. Let's look at the new collections. So not a ton of prime cards right off the rip. But we have a Ian Kinsler at 95, second base. Like that because I need a second baseman. I've been in need of a good second baseman. This might be it. This looks like a really good frickin' card. And Lance Berkman, primary right field. Okay, can also play first, left, and center field. I don't know if I'd put him in center with 65 speed, but he could get the job done. Decent looking card, 100 plus for 3 out of the 4. And power versus left's kind of low, but playable. Yeah, I'm really happy with the content today. Makes me actually want to play Diamond Dynasty and get these. How many cards are there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you basically have to collect all but one to get the top. Which, with this few prime cards, I guess I'm fine with that. We'll see what the price ends up being. Let's see what the price off rip is. 88,000. That's a reward. Sorry about that. And some of these 95s. This Veritech is at 83,000. Those will obviously come down, but you basically have to collect all of the 94s, the 93s, and the 92s, plus one of the 95s in the pack to get to Lance Berkman, because you can supplement Ian Kinsler for one of the other ones. So, okay, I guess it's pick your poison, and these cards are already coming down. They're not expensive as some of the other higher end collection cards were. Hopefully they stay coming down. Jason Veritek's already come down in the 30 seconds I've been talking about it, so that's good. That's good for what it is. Sorry to interrupt this video, but I want to talk to you for a minute about the channel's partner, W Energy. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, great, another product that you're going to try to shove down our throats because you get a cut if we use your code at checkout, right? And full transparency, I do. But I'm not going to tell you to go buy something. I'm not going to tell you to go use this product. I'm going to tell you why I use this product every day, and then you can decide for yourself whether you want to try it or not. Now, look, I'm someone that's always on the go, right? Like, I'm always doing something, whether it's making content for the channel, taking care of the dogs, working on daily house chores. Like, I'm always busy. It seems like I'm on the go from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. And then even when I lay there in bed and can't sleep, I'm like, I should be up doing something. And how do I keep going? I need caffeine. Now, I've been a caffeine addict basically my entire life. And I've tried it all. I've done the sodas, diet sodas, sugars, energy drinks. I've done the sugar-free energy drinks. I've done it all. And it all comes with that jitters, that crash, that kind of makes it pointless, because once you get jittery, it's like, it's hard to work on stuff. And that's why W Energy is different. Let me tell you, like, I'm a sucker for this stuff. I buy it in bulk. Like, I recently dropped like $1,000 on an order. And once they found out it was me, they're like, that's like the single biggest order we've ever had. And it's outside of like retailers and stuff. And it's like, it's crazy. Because these guys are just so good. They use coffee bean extract to make their caffeine, and there's just something different about it. Like, it doesn't give you that jitters. It doesn't give you that crash. It leaves you focused, which is something that I find for basically drinking caffeine for 20 plus years. Like, that's important. And they don't use any artificial colors or dyes. The ones that do have color are made from like fruit extract and things like that, and natural fruits and natural flavors. And there's vitamins, there's minerals. Let me tell you about a couple of my personal favorite flavors. I'm really partial to the Dub Sludge, which is a Granny Smith apple with secret sauce flavor. I also really like the Callow Cream, which is a mango orange cream blend, and the Dragonade, which is a dragon fruit pink starburst lemonade. But rest assured, whatever flavor you're into, they've probably got something for you. They've also got non-caffeinated hydration flavors, a bunch of really cool anime collab tubs, and some awesome merch. And you know me, I'm all about that merch life. But that's really beside the point. The point is that these guys are trying to do things differently. They're trying to take on big energy. They're trying to take on this whole like perception of artificial colors and dyes and chemicals in our food and drink, which we have to deal with every single day. But with Dubby, you can deal with it just a little bit less. Now that's something that I can personally get behind, and surprisingly, so can my doctor, because I've been bringing like energy drinks and stuff to my doctor for years once I found zero sugar stuff and saying, hey doc, do you think this is really good for me? And every time she looks at it and goes, not really. There's aspartame or there's something, in here that's not good for you, or there's, this chemical, that chemical, this thing or that thing. And every time she's like, no, I really don't condone you drinking this. I understand you're going to because you're a caffeine addict, but I can't like endorse this. But when I brought a tub of Dubby Energy, she looked at it and she went, yeah, like the worst thing in here is the artificial sweetener, and it's not even the worst one. Again, I want you to make the decision for yourself. Head on over to w.gg, peruse the website, and see if you can find something to fit your taste buds. Now for the part you've all been waiting for. While you're there, use my promo code BCX3 for a select percentage off of your order of tubs, shakers, and merch. You can drink Dubby to conquer a task, all while being better to your body, mind, and spirit. Now back to the video. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today is just some of the stuff that I've been working on behind the scenes to bring more content for you guys, give you guys a little bit of a preview of what's coming. The first thing, I have started a Road to the Show, which I've been making content on. The first episode is going to be dropping here, hopefully within the next week or so. I've been having a lot of fun with it. The high school and college modes are really, really fun. The way that I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to be obviously breaking it into episodes. And as I pass through the high school and college mode, I'll be giving thoughts on that and how it can improve going into 2026 and things like that. So that's really fun. Excited to get that dropping for you guys here really soon. Also started a Red Sox franchise, which I'm having a lot of fun with. I'm actually having a lot more fun in franchise like I used to back in the kind of mid 2010s. So this has been a really fun thing to go through, and I'm excited to kind of get you guys some Red Sox franchise episodes. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat realistic as to what's going on in the real world with the Red Sox, unfortunately, which means for me having to trade Devers at some point and kind of seeing if I can manage a similar team to the real life Red Sox and maybe still get them into a better spot than the real life Red Sox are, because they had a lot of expectations this year that they're just not meeting. So that's going to be kind of a fun, interesting dynamic to throw into that franchise. And the last thing that I've started recording for now is a Pro Spirits franchise. This one I'm having a ton of fun with because the dynamic differences within their franchise mode, or they don't call it franchise mode, but their equivalent to franchise mode, is really fun and really interesting. I've been using the Google Translate app to kind of navigate that and kind of learn as I go, because it's a little bit different than MLB The Show, but it's really, really fun. I'm really, really enjoying that. And that brings me to the last thing that I wanted to talk about today, and that's Pro Yakyuu Spirits itself, because every time this game is brought up, there's kind of a divide within the baseball video game community, the MLB The Show community, because that's largely the only American baseball video game of any real standard right now. But there's a real debate in that community when this game is brought up, because there's a lot of people that say, oh, this game is so much better than MLB The Show, and this is that standard that they should hold themselves to. And then there's those people that say, are you guys blind? MLB The Show is clearly better than Pro Spirits. So I kind of want to touch on that debate a little bit, because I'm in that weird middle ground where I think both statements are factually true. And I'm going to kind of break it down, I think, mode by mode here. If you are first of all, if you are a hardcore online Diamond Dynasty head-to-head competitive, that's your itch, that's your game style, don't even look at Pro Spirits. That game is definitely not for you, especially if you live here in America, because their Diamond Dynasty equivalent pales in comparison to Diamond Dynasty. Granted, they have some cool legends that MLB The Show doesn't have. They have Ichiro, they have Hideki Matsui. I kind of still wonder, side note, if kind of hoping that MLB The Show just kind of like shadow drops Ichiro in a couple weeks when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Really don't think they're gonna do it, but kind of still hoping. Like, I'm being, I guess, cautiously optimistic here. Like, I can dream, can I? But they do have some cool legends that we don't have, but their mode pales in comparison to Diamond Dynasty, especially the fact that in America and other countries that aren't Japan, you are locked to basically play against the CPU only, because all the head-to-head servers are in Japan. So you would actually have to live in Japan to play online head-to-head games within that mode. So if that's your thing, this game definitely not for you. If you are a offline player who likes things like Road to the Show and franchise, this game is definitely for you. The depth, like I touched on a few minutes ago, the depth of their equivalent to franchise just feels so much more in depth, so much more immersive than the MLB The Show franchise. I've heard the same about their equivalent to Road to the Show. I haven't jumped into it yet. I'm going to jump into that probably within the next couple months and start doing some content on the channel for that as well. I'm just kind of taking it one mode at a time with this game, because I have to, again, use the translate to really understand what I'm doing. So I kind of want to work on mastering one mode at a time, and then I'll work on the next one. And I started with their equivalent to franchise because that's just my probably favorite mode in any baseball game. And they also have a mode that MLB The Show does not have, called, I think it translates to Haki no Kisaki, which is kind of like another franchise mode, it looks like, but you're managing and playing as a high school team year after year, trying to get this high school to the Japan High School Championship. I forget what it's called, but trying to get yourself to the top of that. And it comes with recruiting different high school students year after year and playing the games and trying to get to that. So a really cool mode that MLB The Show doesn't have, that I'm, again, going to jump into at some point and make some content around, because I really want to try it. I just haven't had the ability to jump into all three modes here yet, because, like I said, want to master one at a time because of the language barrier. And lastly, I want to talk about the graphical side of it, because if you're a player that, or not just the graphical side, but the graphic versus the gameplay, because that's, again, where I am split on it, because graphically, so much better than MLB The Show, in my opinion. The immersion within the gameplay, meaning like the graphics, the energy, the way the crowd, excuse me, ooh, that was a weird sound, the way the crowd reacts to things, in my opinion, so much better than MLB The Show. Loving the graphics, loving the crowd reaction, loving the feel of immersion into a baseball game. And I'm noticing the same thing with actual NPB games, as I'm watching NPB games at 2 o'clock in the morning, because I'm a psychopath that stays up that late just so that I can watch Japanese baseball. But I'm noticing the realism between the video game and how real life Japanese baseball games are played. The immersion is top notch there. The gameplay, I would have to agree with the people that say that MLB The Show gameplay is better. It's not that the NPB Yakyuu Spirits gameplay is bad. It's that there's just enough controls that are different that it trips me up from time to time. that I look at this and I've already had moments in both games where it's like, if I want to, the biggest one being like if you advancing the runners. If you're, let's say you hit and you want to go for a double, obviously it's, L1, L2 in the show. You're holding that down, you're running the bases, and then you're retreating with R1. In Yakyuu, you're advancing with triangle and retreating with circle. And I've already mixed up those buttons from time to time where it's different enough where if you're playing both games on a day-to-day basis as it's very easy to mix up those controls because of how similar the games are. Other than that, the other big control difference is to throw to the cutoff man in MLB The Show. It's L1. To throw to the cutoff man in Spirits, it's R1. So it's like a thing that's, again, very easy to get into the habit of and then misuse that in games. I've mistimed some throws in Spirits because of it. I've mistimed throws in MLB because of it. So it is something that's tripping me up. I wish the gameplay felt similar, and I do agree that the gameplay as far as like the controls in MLB The Show just feels a little bit more natural, feels a little bit more better. And that's probably because I've been playing it longer. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to those that stuck to the end of the video. I know that the videos in terms of me talking usually aren't this long. I do want to try to get into some more meaty discussions though, and do some more videos where I'm talking this long, and talking about various things within the baseball video game community. So this might be a template of hopefully how we start to operate moving forward with various things. But thank you for those of you that stuck through. Please leave a comment with your thoughts on any of the various things that we talked about today. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings, whether you agree or disagree with me. Please, if you're still here, leave a like. Helps me get into that algorithm, and I would appreciate you a ton. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, because I'm chasing that elusive 1,000 subscribers so I can hopefully start to work towards getting my watch time hours in for monetization. That would be huge for me as someone that is doing this as a career, not only by choice, but kind of because it's just where I'm at in my life. This is where I potentially can make a little bit of money. So really appreciate you helping me get there. Subscribe, like, help me get into that algorithm, help more people see these videos. Appreciate it a ton. Appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.